everyone, welcome back to another episode of Blatantly Honest with Michaela Nichols. On today's episode, we have the one and only Peach Martine, and the first time we met, I thought it was Peach Martini, because there was an E at the end, so I kind of embarrassed myself when I met her. But she is 18 years young, she has been on American Idol, and she has just developed incredible and authentic music to share her messages about breakups and getting over things and just trying to be a teenager while also trying to fall in love and grow. While on American Idol, she was actually called a robot, so I'm gonna bring that up and what that whole experience was like for her. So, welcome, Peach.
Okay.
All right, so it's recording. We're good. So, how are you, my friend?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy you're on. I know it's been a minute. I know last time we connected was model volleyball. Oof.
Yes. Best weekend ever.
That was a really good weekend. So, what have you been up to recently? How are you doing with this quarantine?
I'm good. I'm bored. I've just been writing a lot, honestly, and working from home, and I miss seeing my friends a lot. I had my birthday a few weeks ago, and it was like,
Happy birthday.
oh, thank you. But
And
it
you're
was
how young?
I just turned 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Legal.
But but yeah, I made myself a cake, and it was me and my mom, and I FaceTimed my friends and stuff. So it was okay. Yeah.
Dang. What kind of cake did you make?
I am glad you asked. I made a coconut and vanilla and lemon cake.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Was it amazing?
Okay. It was like 6 out of 10.
Dang.
Yeah.
So 18 years old, and you were just taking on the whole wide world, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about how your career just started. Because I know you've always been, when I met you, I was like, dang, I thought you were my age, and I realized you weren't pretty quickly. But I was like, holy crap, only because you told me. So how did you grow up so quickly and be so eloquent, and how did it happen, man?
Well, so I've always known that this was what I want to do, and I've been recording my own original music in studios, songs that I've written since I was 9 is when I actually started doing it. So that's been 9 years of doing this. So
your whole life, basically.
Yeah, and I've always loved playing, and I've been playing in clubs and bars since I was 14, and it's just performing live is my favorite thing in the world, and I've always wanted to do it. And I've just taught myself how to write music and had to convince people to start to take me seriously as a young blonde girl that writes music.
Wow. So was there always a lot of, not a stereotype, but almost a stereotype when you're like, yeah, I do this, and people are like, really? Do you? Did you find that you felt a lot of kind of judgment when you were putting your music out?
Sure. I mean, a lot of people want me to be like Katy Perry or Britney Spears or something, but I'm kind of then I tell them oh, I also compose movie scores, and they're like, oh, you actually know what you're doing? And I'm like, yeah, I studied music theory for 4 years. And they're like, oh, she actually knows how to play instruments. I'm like, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, so people kind of look at you and they're like, oh, does this girl really know? How does that make you feel?
I like to be able to prove them wrong, and it definitely challenges me to make sure that I am able to impress people. So when I commit to writing a song or learning a new instrument, I make sure I perfect it before I show people.
Okay. See, I almost like the fact that things aren't always necessarily perfect. So you find yourself trying to be a perfectionist at all the times?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Not
like
a lot
that?
of room for. Yeah, no, for sure. I have a lot of anxiety about everything in general, really, but it makes me work so much harder to make sure that the things I overthink about never go wrong. And it's if anything, that kind of overthinking really helps me.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of my super type A personality trait.
So how do you deal with things when, your type A personality doesn't work out and things just totally just blow up?
I'm obviously good at persisting through it, because I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I haven't given up yet, but things are starting to pick up more now than ever, like recently. And it's all the little things, like I just hit 150,000 followers on TikTok yesterday. So that's
Congrats.
fun. Thank you. And I've been getting like when I got TikTok a couple months ago, I started getting like 10 followers a day, and then 100 followers a day, and then 1,000 followers a day, and then 5,000 followers a day. So it's super exciting. And I just got like verified on Instagram the other day, and I'm working on a production and management deal. And it's all
Wow.
exciting, Gotta
And
keep.
you're 18. Holy crap.
Yeah,
Wow. So,
I love to work hard. It's like I'm such a workaholic.
yeah, you and me both, sister. I know a lot
I know you are.
of
But you're good at what you do, and that's what matters.
and so are you. And that's why we are the people we are, my friend.
Yes,
So
indeed.
let's talk about so like I said earlier, I Google stalked you just because, when we met, like I didn't know because I like live under a rock, I guess. And I was like, I'm gonna stalk this Peach Martine girl and I'm gonna see her whole story and all this stuff. And again, how old were you when you went on American Idol?
Oh, I was 16 when I recorded the show, and then 17 when it started airing.
Wow. Okay. So 16 years old, you somehow miraculously, well, obviously you're really talented, but you get on American Idol. What is 16-year-old Peach thinking that, oh my God, I just got on American Idol? How did you feel?
Well, it was terrifying, but also freaking exciting because I was looking forward to like meeting new people, and I did wind up meeting so many super talented friends that I still talk to from the show. But it was nerve-wracking, but I enjoyed myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna do my best. Like, it's all in God's hands. I can only like pray that it goes decent for me and that I don't totally embarrass myself. But they cut and edited it so much I like did anyway, but that's fine because at least I kind of looked like myself. Reality TV, it's whatever.
Yeah, reality TV, you'd like have no control over. But you look great. I loved watching it. So let's talk about the comments you got because I watched a video and I was like, my mouth was on the floor. I was like, oh my God, like, what did
Yeah.
they just say? So they called you a robot. How did it
Yes.
feel when like Katy Perry and the other judges were kind of like, this girl's a robot? How, like, 16 years old,
Yeah.
you're probably like, oh my God, what?
Yeah. Well, I had told them, I was like, I'm a straight A student. I am a cheerleader. I am varsity cross country. I was like naming all the good things I could think of myself before I started singing, just in case that helped my case. And they were like, wow, that's impressive. And then I sang, they're like, you're good at that too. Like, I guess they thought Katy Perry was like, you're an overachiever. And I'm like, I'm just kind of doing my best, man. So then the robot thing started, and then they were all repeating it. And I'm like, my heart is thumping.
Oh, see, I would have
Like,
passed out. Like, were you like, oh my God, I can't believe they're saying, or were you like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, they're calling me a
I thought it was
robot.
hilarious. And then most people did too, but I do like still to this day I get like 3 DMs a day that are just like hi robot, or they'll just say like robot. And I'm like, how do I respond? Because I like to respond to every DM I get and be
Yeah.
like, thank you, or I hope you have a great day. But it's like that. I'm like, I can't tell if you're being mean. So I don't know what to do.
Oh my God. No, I don't know how I personally would respond if someone was like, Michaela, you're a robot. I'd be like, but having it seen on national TV at 16 years old, that like, or 17, I guess, you're like, I am identified as a robot, I guess. Okay. It must have felt weird. How did your parents feel about that coming out like that?
Well, it's just me and my mom, but my mom was like, she was just proud that I had the balls to go on the show and just sing like a song that I wrote. And she was happy when it came out, and because they only air, I mean, so many people go through all the rounds of screening and processing, and they only pick like what 20 people to actually be on the show.
Mhm.
So she was just happy I had made it that far, and like whatever happens happens, at least I'll hopefully make some fans and friends. She was fine with it. I was like, I don't want to say I didn't take it like harsh at all, but it's like over a year later when people are still bugging me about it, it's like you're
Let it
so
die.
original. I don't know.
Oh my God. So
There are
how,
some really funny jokes though. Like when
yeah,
people
let's hear them.
talk
Let's
about
hear
the
these jokes.
creations, people are like if I ever like zone out or something, they're like, "Did your signal get cut off?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's a good one."
You're kidding. You're like,
Yeah.
yep. Wow. Okay, so next time we hang out and you zone out and be like, oh, your signal, man. That's wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you and your mom and all this stuff happened. So how has American Idol changed your life?
Um, I guess a bunch of business people started like reaching out to me, and slowly but surely I gained a lot of fans from it, and I'm super thankful for them. But I remember while it was airing, my phone glitched and shut down because so many people were following me at once on Instagram, and it just buzzed so much it shut down.
Oh
I
my
was like
God.
watching it ring and like sputter. It was crazy. So I wound up getting like 10,000 fans on Instagram in one day, and then and then it aired. But then the video on YouTube blew up and it got 3 million views. And then American Idol took it off their YouTube to make room for the new season. And I was like, oh my God. But
What?
yeah, but that was a good experience. And like, I made so many cool friends. And I mean, Lionel Richie told me I had one of the best original songs to ever be performed on the show. So it's like, that's something I'll always have with me. Like, from him, that compliment was crazy.
Wow. So I can't imagine being told by Lionel Richie, like, you're amazing and all that stuff. So how does that make you feel on a daily basis? I mean, do you think of that when you're having a bad day?
Um, I mean, his compliment meant a lot to me, but I read and talk to my fans who say like, hey, this song means a lot to me, or hey, this is my favorite song. Like when I'm down, talking to my fans always makes me feel better. So I love like you don't understand, like the people who listen to my music are my friends, and they don't seem to realize that. They're like, oh my God, you replied. I'm like, there's no one else I'd rather talk to. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I mean, that's such a great approach because, you know, a lot of celebrities have this kind of, not all of them, but some have this wall and it's like, oh, you can't see beyond the wall, you can't get to me kind of thing. And you're kind of breaking that wall down, which is so admirable because, I mean, you're so young and you're probably, I'm sure it can be overwhelming at times. And you're like, you know what? My fans are the ones that got me to where I'm at, and you have such an appreciation. So, do you find that with your free time, are you talking to fans mainly? Are you trying to make new fans? How does that work for you, keeping a relationship?
Well, I mean, I like to respond to everybody at least once, and there's a couple, of course, that like, especially ones that run like some fan accounts on Instagram that I talk to, and I'm just like, hey, just to let you know, like I'm putting out a new song. I really hope you like it, or I'll like send it to them to see what they think. They're always the first people I ask for critiques from because I know that like they'll support me. But
Yeah.
no, I just like, especially TikTok is my main thing right now because Instagram's like a business card when you're a
Mhm.
musician. Like, you know how it is. You understand. But TikTok is like, here's my personality. Like today I posted like a video ranting about Harry Potter, and also a singing video, and also about people's zodiac signs. It's like just stuff that I think of or that I care about,
Fun.
and it's fun for me, and it's a way for my fans to get to know me and for people to get to know me from my personality before they see my music.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to, not that I'm like much older than you, but I'm trying to figure out TikTok. Like, my mom went viral on it. She had like, I don't know, like a few million or whatever looking at it. And then TikTok took it down, and I was like, and it was like, so that was my experience with TikTok.
Yeah.
So I need to learn more about it. And but that's awesome that, you know, you're putting yourself out there and you're like, hey, this is me and let's do crazy things, because that's what matters. I mean, taking that mask off and saying, hey, I'm not perfect, because no one is.
Yeah. I think you'd be really great at TikTok because you're hilarious and you have a big personality.
Uh, well, if you ever want to point me in the TikTok direction, I'd take advice, man. Like
Well, whenever you're in Miami or whenever I'm up there by you, we should make some together, or I'll just show you
I
how.
I would love that
That would
because
be fun. That would be
I
fun.
I need help. It would be fun, and I think your fans would get a good kick out of watching like, well, Michaela try to figure out TikTok because it's atrocious. But so let's talk about, we've talked about you being on American Idol. Is there anything else you want to add about that, or you feel like it's been justified enough?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it a lot, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So let's move on to new things. So, okay. So we talked about a little bit before we got on some of the negative comments. How do you feel when you see negative comments?
Um, I feel okay. You know, I am a confident person and I have a lot of great friends that are like my family to totally support me. And I mean, confidence is something that's super important to me because like until a few years ago, I totally was not confident. But then I was like, you know,
What?
fake it till you make it is kind of
You not
my
confident.
confidence thing. No, I'm serious because it was like something I always really, really wanted, but it's like I'm so tall. And I know you understand this because you're really tall too. But when everyone else is like, when boys look up are this tall and then look up at you and I'm like, well, hi. Or or I love makeup so much and it's more of like an art form to me than like hiding myself and people don't really
Get that?
like
Yeah. Hmm.
sometimes people think it's like, oh, you're trying too hard. And I'm like, no, I just like when my eyelids are pink. But
Like these
I'm
pink
good
eyelids mean a lot.
yeah, I'm good at handling negative criticism, which I do get a lot of, but it's never like purposefully hurtful.
Okay. So how do you determine something between purposely hurtful and like, oh man, that hurts?
Sometimes people are like, give me like singing criticism, and I'm like, thanks. I'm classically trained, but like I'm gonna take your advice.
Yeah,
But no one's ever like kill yourself.
that's good.
And when people start with that, like I'm sure it will happen because once you get the more
Once you're
popular you get,
you.
the more haters you get, I
Yep.
guess, or so I've been told by my more experienced peers in making music, I guess. I don't know. No, I'll be able to handle that because I have great people around me to support me, and also I have a lot of support from my fans.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's important that you have that mindset because unfortunately, I've spoken to some people and even myself, people say negative things and once you're told that over and over again, it hurts.
Yeah.
And but like you said, it's all about surrounding yourself with the right people to pick you up and all that kind of stuff. So you are just so busy between TikTok and music. So let's talk a little bit about, because it's my own personal, sorry everyone, this is like my personal favorite song right now. So Home. Let's talk about Home and what that means to you because I'm dying to hear all the tea.
Oh God. Okay. So I had a guy best friend that I was totally in love with, absolutely simp in love with. It was terrible. It was terrible. So, and I wrote this poem about it, and I was like, I don't write poems. I'm gonna sing it. So I just played it, and I recorded it and posted it on TikTok because at the time I didn't have like that many people watching me on TikTok. I had a lot less than Instagram. TikTok blows up. Thankfully, he doesn't have a TikTok. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll make a part two. That totally blew up even more. And then I had like 75,000 TikTok followers at the time. And he texted me one day. He's like, hey, I saw your video. I'm like, ah,
Oh,
what'd you think? He's like, it was cool. And I'm like,
that's
okay, well, that
all?
was it. Yeah,
This
I
whole
know.
video, what? He knew
Yeah, but
he must have known it was about him, right?
oh, clearly.
And he
Yeah,
just said,
but
cool.
that's
What?
boys.
That is boys.
Um, and then so I was like, well, he saw it. So like, what if and people had been asking me to like put it on Spotify or Apple Music or SoundCloud or whatever because they're like, oh, I really relate to this, or like this made me cry. And I'm like, I did something here. I'm gonna release it because like he obviously doesn't care.
Yeah.
So I did, and it's doing pretty well, and I've started writing a lot more content like that that's just super honest and open. It's like I'm so done with writing like put your hands in the air dance songs, and like now I'm writing about like this is bothering me or this is what's on my mind. Do you guys relate? And that's been really connecting me with the people that are listening.
So how did you, that's so admirable because, I think that all the let's whatever is the roof kind of thing, like fun, whatever, cool, but music has meaning. Like I am that person that will pick out words in a song and be like, wow, like, oh my God, so and so listen to the song because like that's me in this second kind of thing, which is
Yeah.
important. So how did you, being so young, which just still blows my mind, how did you say, hey Peach, like this is the music I want to write about?
Um well, I've been influenced by so many different things over time. Like I grew up in Cleveland, so I was in a classic rock cover band, so I grew up listening to like Zeppelin, Rush, Motley Crue, like classic rock to like hair bands kind of thing. And that totally influenced myself. And then when I was a little older, I got into musical theater and then a lot of like modern rock and pop. Once like Lady Gaga was popular, that was like my life was like dance pop. So that influenced me for a while. And then I kind of fell in love with like alternative hip hop and regular rap. So like anything from like XXX to like 21 Pilots, which is like a big difference, but that kind of combined into being like, okay, so now poets and rappers are kind of the same thing right now because rappers are writing like a lot of deep stuff now more than like back in the Chip the Ripper days, you
Yeah.
know? So I was like, I'm white, but what if I make it a spoken word poem? Like a young girl might do when they can't rap.
So
Um,
I can't like expect any like ghetto rap coming soon.
no, most of my fans are around like 10 years old, so hopefully not.
I love it. Hey, I if you ever want to write an anti-bullying song, man, I don't know, could
You
be
know
fun.
what? I've been looking for new subjects to write about, so that'll be on the schedule for today.
Dang, flattered. So, how does it feel having so much younger fans? Is that the target demographic you always thought you'd go after?
No, no. I mean, I don't know, man. I always pictured like when I write music, it's for like me and my age group,
Yeah.
I guess, because it's like I write a lot about breakups. I write a lot about like I don't know, boys really. Like that's like my number one. I'm such a Taylor Swift, whom I love. So, but no, really, when younger people listen to my music, I have to be like, okay, can't do anything stupid because now I'm probably a role model to these girls. It's like, which is fine because I work hard to be a good role model, you
And you
know?
are a good person, so it goes hand in hand.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So are you. I try.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, so your target demographic is a little bit different. So, do you find, not that you're like a crazy like person like we mentioned, but do you ever find it like, oh, I can't do this or oh, I can't do that? Do you feel like you've put yourself in a box or do you feel it's like, I like this box?
I was actually talking about this with my friend the other day. I've always known that I wanted to be a musician, and it's kind of like living if you know that you're going to be a politician. Like you can never do anything that might offend people, not that I would ever want to, but like you can't do a lot of things that regular teenagers do. Like if that party is going to be crazy, don't go. Or like if I don't know, it's hard to find examples that are
I
appropriate to
hear
talk
you.
about, but it's you got to be careful with everything you do and say and what people like have pictures of you doing. Like I've never done anything that basically I wouldn't want my fans knowing about.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good way to live. I know it's hard because I grew up at 14 and I necessarily didn't always have that mindset, which I should have. Not that I did anything stupid, but we all make crazy little mistakes.
Yeah.
but it's important to have that mindset like, hey, this is bigger than me, and
Yeah.
hey, this kid is watching. And so important. Like, obviously, like, never hold yourself back, but like, be cool about it.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But
Like I'm just careful, like I don't like swear in public a lot. Like I'm not gonna go on TikTok and like say the F word because I know like I don't want like my 13-year-old people to be hearing that, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's
But I
admirable.
don't that doesn't bother me at all, you know?
Yeah, you're not missing out on anything in that
Yeah.
department, right? It's safe to
Mhm.
yourself. So let's talk a little bit about what the future looks like. And, that's so limitless based on everything you're doing. So what is your 5 year, just kidding. I'm not going to do the whole marketing thing on you. What's your plan, man? Let's hear it.
Oh my god, I have huge goals and I talk about this all the time in my songs. Um I want to write a movie score that's like as iconic as like Harry Potter or Jaws. And I want to
Okay, sorry, not to cut you off. What is a movie score?
like the soundtrack, like when
Okay.
you're listening to a movie, that's like the music behind
Okay.
what people are saying.
Sorry,
Which
I just needed to know for the
no,
people
you're good.
listening because I'm like, what?
You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't know that, and I wish people were more educated about that because I think the music in a movie is sometimes what makes or breaks a powerful scene. Like when you think of like the Marvel movies, like it's the music that brings the tearjerkers, right?
Always.
It's, for sure, for sure. And I would love to write a musical. I would love to earn a Grammy, go on world tour. And I just, the whole reason why I'm doing this crazy adventure that is like almost impossible, but I still have confidence in myself that I'm going to succeed in it is because I want to write music and songs that make people feel understood. Because if I write a song, I'm like, I need sometimes I feel things and I'm like, what song can I listen to that expresses this so that I don't feel so alone in what I'm thinking? Sometimes I feel like I have to fill that blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
important because you're like, hey, I can make that difference. I can do this. So, in your perfect dream world, what is something that you're like, I need to accomplish? Everything you said, obviously, but what is next on your to do list?
oh boy. I want to play a lot more shows live because there's nothing more fun for me than when I can be on stage singing what I've written because concerts are my absolute favorite thing. I spend all my money on concert tickets without fail because that's a place where I can be safe, I can dance, I can hear my favorite artists, and it's something for me to look forward to. Like when I get concert tickets, like it's always something to look forward to. And I want to be that thing to look forward to and to enjoy for people.
I love it. I know you will. You are just like, I would go to your concert and
I
be there
hope
with your young
so.
fans, and I would rage to your wholesome but powerful music. I
Thanks.
love it. So, what do you want people listening to know either about you more, or is there anything of that nature?
Um, oh boy. Well, what am I up to? I obviously have a lot of music coming out because it's summer, and summer's my favorite time to put out music because, like, no school, work somehow seems shorter. There would be more parties and stuff, but not currently because of the Rona. But
Arona.
the Rona, which is ugh, whatever. Um, but yeah, no, I'm releasing a song called Disco Barbie in this May, like this month. And then next after that, I have a song probably coming out in June. Don't don't hold me to this. But uh-oh, can you see me?
I can't see you. You're good. It went away for a sec, but you're fine.
Okay. I have and then No Summer Love is probably going to come out in June. So I have like two more songs that I'm super excited for people to hear coming out, and I hope that entertains people and gives them something to look forward to.
I'm so excited.
Me
So,
too. You have no idea.
you're like, I want to do it tomorrow, but I can't.
I know. I'm so hype. I'm so hype.
Oh my God. So, how does it feel like? I can't I mean, I get excited about releasing podcasts, but like a song, like how do you feel like right before it comes out? You're like, "Oh my God, like
I can't sleep. I can't sleep the night before because it's always like I remember last year, yeah, it was last year. I put out Caught My Eye, the song that I performed on American Idol, and I was like up all night, like have people already forgotten about me? And then it got like 50,000 plays in like 4 hours, and I was like, ah! So I was just stressing myself out for nothing. Like I literally did not sleep that night, did not close my eyes. I was just like, because this, when you dump your heart out into something like I do in like the super honest way that I've been writing lately, it's like, well, if you don't like this stuff that I've been writing lately, you don't like me.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, oh my God. I just love all like your songs are just so honest and like fun. It's not like I'm like sad. Like it's like, oh dang, like she really said that and she really went there. But it's so fun and the people listening, I'm sure okay, this is like a silly question, but why not? Who has
Sure.
been someone that's listened to your music, whether they're famous or someone you look up to, like who has reached out to you and been like, I love your music. Anyone that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they just, aside from like Lionel Richie and Katy Perry, anyone else that you're like,
Yeah. Something actually crazy happened 2 days ago. I wrote this song where it was like just listing all the things somebody might be looking forward to, whether it's like, oh, is somebody gonna have a baby, or like, is something coming in the mail for you? Like, what is it? Give yourself something to look forward to so that you can like look forward to something. I don't, and like stay strong through this like crap time. Um, and then some girl messaged me and she was like, I mean, I'm obviously not going to say her name, but I talked to her for a little bit. She was like, that song was exactly what I needed to hear to keep me alive. And I want to thank you so, so, so much. I just bust out crying. So I was like, oh my God, it was a lot, but I was just
wow,
happy because it kind of woke me up to thinking like, if I can write positive things that give people hope and make them feel understood, then I can actually save people like my favorite artists have saved me.
wow. That's, I can't imagine how you felt. I mean, obviously you said you cried, but like hearing someone say like that song saved my life, like, is that, how does that process
I
within
haven't
you?
processed it yet. I haven't. I've still been talking to her. It was like 2 days ago, but
Wow.
I was just crazy because it was like that was the first. She was just scrolling on TikTok. Like that was the first song she ever heard of mine. We wound up having a really long conversation about it, but it was crazy.
Doing
Yeah.
big things, doing big thing. And see, that's the stuff that matters. And that's the stuff that people need to talk about because like we're all in this crazy journey called life together.
Yeah.
And how can we bring up other people and share, I just got chills. Woo! And we can all share their stories because, you know, we can't experience everyone else's life, but knowing the things that we do are important and matter is well worth it, I think.
Yeah. Exactly. And we could just we gotta pray and send good vibes to the people that are listening to you, right?
Right.
Thank them and
Always.
be grateful for them.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so nice to be able to talk to people and have people care about what you're saying, isn't it? I know
Yeah,
you just started this, but it's people, people are listening now.
people, it's good because I love to be able to speak with people who inspire me and share their story. And I interview people from all walks of life, you know, from your celebrities to influencers to people who are trying to provide for their family or they had this crazy career and now they have the life that they never thought they'd had in a negative way, but they're making it positive. And that's what matters because, you know, life is like this, as we both
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
what do you do with it? So I really appreciate you being on and sharing your story. And if there's anything else you want to add, or if you want to sing us out.
Okay. Be bold, be you, and be blatantly honest.